Assalamu alaikum. Since the genocide temporarily ceased, the Western media has conveniently distracted the world with the release of the Israeli hostages, with little or no attention being paid to the hundreds and thousands of Palestinian political prisoners. The women, children, elderly, men who are arbitrarily abducted and detained by the Zionists in their thousands, locked up for decades on end, with thousands never even ever charged. When you witness the scenes of their homecoming, have you ever wondered who are these Palestinian prisoners? For what crimes are they imprisoned and separated from their families? What inhumane conditions they are kept in and made to suffer? Have you ever wondered why does one Israeli hostage equate to 1,027 prisoner release, or 3 hostages equates to 183 Palestinian prisoner release? According to reports from detainee advocacy organizations, nearly 10,000 Palestinians have been arrested since October the 7th. Palestinian Prisoners Society, Amnesty, Israeli human rights organizations say that the released Palestinian prisoners all show signs of starvation, illness, physical injuries, beatings, torture, abuse, disease, infections, including scabies. Palestinian prisoners are kept in isolation, solitary confinement, medical negligence, family visitations are severely restricted, prevented. Starvation, torture are all normal practices by the Zionist colonial occupiers. All violations of the supposed international norms and laws related to prisoners, which the West flaunts at its discretion, just like it does in war, aiding genocide, in economics and environment policies and standards, all abused as it wishes. The reality is that these so-called laws, standards and institutions are her tools, which are designed so that she can control other nations using these as leverage. Likewise, the so-called Zionist apartheid colonial state, which labels itself the only so-called democracy in the Middle East, only follows in the footsteps of its colonial masters, who set the standards of abuse, mass executions, murder during their empires, their colonial rule, and in most recent notorious cases of Guantanamo Bay detention camp, Abu Ghraib prison scandals, the CIA black sites, and the extraordinary renditions post 9/11. Over and above that, hundreds of Palestinian women and children are held without any charge. 20%, that's a staggering million plus, or a fifth of all Palestinians have been detained or imprisoned at some point for no crime but their legitimate right to resist an occupying force, political conscience, activism, speaking out and aspiring to live under a free Palestine and protect Al-Aqsa. The Zionists, they conduct regular mass arrests, as having huge numbers of Palestinian prisoners provides the Zionist occupiers with leverage and allows them to use these large numbers in future swap deals. And even when freed, many of these Palestinian prisoners will be rearrested and imprisoned once again. So it doesn't make a difference to the Zionists how many prisoners they release. We as conscientious people, Muslims and humans, cannot possibly remain silent to such flagrant disregard for fellow human beings, and more so due to our Islamic bond, duty and responsibility. Worse still, remaining silent and inaction equates to acquiesce and complicity in the crime of the oppressor. These children, women, men, these Palestinian prisoners, like us, are sons, fathers and mothers. We need to be their voice, rally for their just cause of justice, liberation, and stand with them shoulder to shoulder. Action points to help the Palestinian prisoners, brothers and sisters, include: number 1, raise awareness via social media and share content. Share this video and similar content with family, friends to highlight the plight and raise awareness about the Palestinian prisoners with Muslims and non-Muslims alike. Number 2, expose the Zionist Western apartheid crimes, violations and hypocrisy. Expose these violations of basic human rights according to all standards. Show how even the West doesn't follow its own rules and institutions. Rather, this law and tools are used as colonial tools to control other nations and people. Number 3, join Free Palestine campaign. It is high time. We were all part of a Free Palestine campaign, whether it's boycotting, Islamic political activism, or other forms of protest, pressure, and Islamic political campaigns. Finally, and most importantly, work for the political unity of the Islamic Ummah. Without political unity and a true representative Islamic governing body representing the Islamic Ummah like the Caliphate, Muslim land and life is exposed to the colonial vultures who, as per the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, will continue to invite one another against this Ummah, which is only protected by the Imam who was described in the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a shield of the Muslim Ummah.